It's about time that I did a review on the Van Cleef 5 motif Guilloche bracelet, which I've got here. This is an 18 karat solid gold, and it has the guilloche carving on each motif on both sides. And if you guys are a fan of this style, this is probably why you clicked on this video, because you want to hear my thoughts on the performance of this piece. Overall, my review is very positive, and I've been wearing this bracelet since I bought it. So I bought it in November of 2021, and now we are filming in July the next year. So I've been wearing it for December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, 8 months, okay? And I've been wearing it consistently pretty much every day. The only time I've taken it off is if I'm going to be using any like bleach, you know, like cleaning the bathroom, or yeah, if I'm going to be using any sort of chemicals, which I typically don't use a lot of chemicals. I try to abstain from using harsh chemicals, but if I am, then then I'll take off like my ring and my bracelet. But other than that, I always have it on. I sleep with it on, I shower with it, pretty much do everything with it, and only take it off if I need this to be completely free, which is very rare. So sleep and shower with it. And some of you do send me messages and ask me how my bracelet is holding up, because you guys are in the market for getting one. And one of you asked me, do you wear it when you sleep? Because they're afraid of getting imprints, or they did and they got imprints on their arm, which you do. I mean, because sometimes like the bracelet kind of comes down onto your forearm, and then you sleep on it, but then it goes away. It's not like a big deal. It doesn't bother me, and I do shower with it as well. So since I bought it, I haven't had the size changed. One of the reasons was because I didn't want to mess with the spacing of the motifs. I don't have particularly tiny wrists. I know some people who do, and they had to make it shorter. But in my case, my hand is quite large, and large enough to prevent this from falling off. And even when I had purchased it, the sales associate had said, you know what, I would leave it alone. It's perfectly fine. And I kind of like the fact that this has some movement. Sometimes, if I want to push it back, I can push it back. If I want to have it kind of dangling at my hand, it's great. And the fact that it's loose, it gives it extra movement as I'm wearing it. And as you know, this beautiful motif catches the light in such a stunning, sparkly way, and you can really see it in action as it's moving. So I think it's really pretty in that sense. I'm not normally a person who buys designer jewelry. The reason being is, I don't see it being any different than bags. I see how people buy designer jewelry, and because what leather bag is worth really more than $1,000? It isn't, right? So it's all relative to what you feel is valuable to you. But I guess just being Indian, my background, my family's from Punjab, India. And if you are basically actually any culture, but usually Indian culture, Pakistani culture, Middle Eastern culture is known to have very ornate gold jewelry. And in our families, like, we prefer 24 karat gold, 22 karat gold at the least, gold jewelry. That's what seems worth it. And a lot of designer gold jewelry is 18 karat, right? And so you don't feel like you're getting as much gold for your buck, plus you're adding on the designer premium. A lot of designer jewelry styles are inspired by designs from India, from Pakistan, or that whole era. I mean, these countries divided later, but even in the Middle East, a lot of these motifs have been taken from those cultures. And so I can get beautiful pieces at our local jewelers, right, if I really was so inclined. And so I didn't see a need for me to go over to Cartier for a love bangle or any other piece. I work a lot with my hands, and when you're typing, I just don't like anything rigid. I mean, I'm not really a bangle person to wear on a daily basis. Yes, I wear bangles for special occasions, but I want to take them off, right? Like I need something flexible, it'll be comfortable. So a lot of brands don't have bracelets, but Van Cleef does, and Van Cleef was known for a lot of the motif bracelets with like the precious stones like mother of pearl or onyx or malachite. And I was never really into that. Not that I'm saying that they're not beautiful, but that wasn't something that I was really craving for a daily piece. And some of them are quite delicate and are known to scratch, and you can't get them wet. And if I'm going to wear something on my hand, I want to be able to wear it all the time and enjoy it. The guilloche motif is very attractive to me because when it's solid gold, you're not worried about any damage to any of the stones or anything like that. It is gold, and gold can endure a lot. Any metal's gonna scratch. Even like my wedding set, like it's I have it in platinum, and platinum scratches. Like it's just the fact that when we've got rings kind of like hitting each other. I've knocked this thing like against the door, like, and nothing's happened to it. Jewelry's meant to be worn and withstand that sort of wear, and it's performed. And the same I wanted with this. So I don't baby this. This as a bracelet, I actually thought of having as a first purchase or entry into this motif, the guilloche motif. And it's because I can always see it on my hand. Like I can enjoy how this looks. If it was, say, earrings, which I love, I would love to have a pair of the studs, or the necklace, I would only see it when I look in the mirror. But this, I see for myself and I enjoy it. So I really liked the bracelet and I wanted something to wear on a daily basis. Now, some bracelets, it can be quite finicky to put on. And originally I intended to put it on this hand because I felt like the white metal and the gold would clash on this hand. But that's not a big deal, as you can see, because I wear it on this hand all the time. But originally I had it on this hand. Now I'm right hand dominant. And when you have bracelets like this and they're snug, well, this isn't snug though, but I mean, if you have bracelets like this, the clasp is sometimes a little bit finicky to put on. And in this case, when I had it on this hand, because, my dexterity on my left hand is probably not as good as my right hand, I had trouble doing it up. But on this side, compared to other bracelets I've had, such as the bead bracelet from Tiffany, which actually broke off, but that's a whole other story. And the price point is definitely far different from what this is. I had no issues putting this on. The clasp is quite large. So if you can see there, it's a pretty sizable clasp. So I don't know why my camera doesn't focus, but it's a pretty sizable clasp. So you can really like get it on, like you can get a handle on it and then clip it on. So I really like that. Sometimes the clasps are really small and I've got big hands and big fingers, so it's just like it's very difficult for me to maneuver. Maybe if you have tiny, fingers and very fine, beautiful, feminine-looking fingers, then it's easy for you. But for me, it's a bit hard. But this actually, surprisingly, when I wear on this, I can take it off and put it back on quite easily. I'm sure I can train this hand. The more I do it, I'll probably be able to put it on this hand. But it hasn't bothered me when I'm doing dishes or when I'm doing any work with my hands or when I'm on the computer if I'm typing or I'm writing. And I think the reason why I prefer it on this hand is because when I wear it on my right hand, I'm writing or doing something most of the time with my right hand and it can hit the table. Now this does have scratches. It's something that I've predicted will happen. Anything that you're going to have movement of, or you're going to be hitting and all that, or sliding against a table or anything that you're doing, you're going to hit it against something. So there are going to be fine scratches, and I've captured this on video. So, I just took a video, I think while I was driving. Not while I was driving, but when I was in the car, not when I was driving, because the lighting is different. If you are away from direct daylight, it's daylight, but you're away from direct sun. And then at a restaurant, and then also some other lighting I had where I could see, when the scratches are worse, when the scratches are visibly worse versus when I don't even notice them at all. The cutting or the, I don't know what they call this, but I guess guilloche. But the carving is such that it reflects so much light that it distracts you from the scratches. If it was a pair of earrings or a necklace, you're likely not going to have as many scratches, right? Because you're not really hitting anything, it's out of the way. But because you're working with your hands a lot, this will. Now, this bracelet, I didn't know, there is actually a serial number on the edge. I'm having trouble focusing on this camera, but basically on the edge of the guilloche, you can actually spot it on one of them just by looking, but to read it, you probably need some sort of like jeweler's loupe or magnifying glass. And the reason why I know that that's there, I had no idea that there's a serial number, is because when customs was looking at it, they were matching it to the certificate that I had to make sure that the certificate coincided with this piece. And that's when I came to know that there's actually a serial number on this thing. Whereas, you know, I guess there are replicas out there. I've seen ads on, you know, social media of jewelers that make the same design in 22 karat gold, and people would like to buy that. Now, if that's something that you want to do, it's not something I would personally do, but there are people on social media who talk about this and get like designer jewelry, gold pieces from Cartier, from Van Cleef, from Bulgari, made from 22 karat gold because they are dissatisfied from 18 karat gold, and also to save some money and not pay the designer premium. And that's on them, but I probably wouldn't do that myself. I'm buying the piece because of what it is. If I was going to get something custom made, I'm not going to copy a design that you can just buy at the store. I'm going to make something unique that nobody else can buy, and take advantage of that craftsmanship and customize something to what I want. But I digress. Would I consider buying more of these bracelets? Not just guilloche. The guilloche I've mentioned, I'd love to have the earrings. Those seem to be really hard to find. Even this, hard to find. Like there's like usually like a wait list. But you know, some people can walk in and get it, just like how I did. And I would love to have a 10 motif necklace, although I probably wouldn't wear that on a daily basis. Maybe I should, I don't know. I really wish that they did the guilloche motif in a 20 motif necklace, because I can see myself wearing that later on in my life, and you know, having it long and kind of looping it around. I think I would really enjoy that, having that as a piece. But right now, a 20 motif with the guilloche motif also includes diamonds, and that really ups the price. And I'm not ready to spend that kind of money, and I don't think I would want to. But I don't think I would add other. I know some people stack their bracelets. They, you know, buy either more 5 motif bracelets from the house in different stones, or they'll get like other designer bangles or jewelry from another design house and stack the bracelets. I don't know if I'd actually do that. I like how this looks on its own. I feel like if I combined it with something else, it would take away from the spotlight or the beauty of this piece. And that's just my thoughts personally. I do like how people have stacks. Like you know, like if it's done like, you know, couple, if it's overloaded, it just looks like it's a little bit too much, and they're all competing with each other, and that, you know, there's a fear of them hitting each other, of course, and getting scratched up even more. So I don't think so. I mean, if there was something quite fitting, maybe in the future, like I add something, but I don't see myself doing that. So I've covered wear and tear. I've covered my use. Basically, I use it every single day. So for a good 8 months. I've covered why I purchased this piece first as a first designer piece. I've covered like future wish list items that I'd like, and nuances about it. You know, you do get like the serial number in the packaging. I never even store it. I honestly don't even store it in the pouch they give you because I'm always wearing it. I've covered, what else did I want to add? I can't remember. Let me think. Now I remember. Cleaning it. So gold, I mean, like, is gold, right? Nothing's really gonna happen to it. I mean, I may be wrong. Like, maybe if you're using like corrosive chemicals and stuff like that. It can bind or chelate the gold, I don't know. But generally speaking, nothing's happening to it. And you know, the only thing that maybe, it's always shiny to me. I won't lie, it's always shiny to me. I don't see it ever looking dull. You know, some people said, oh, you shouldn't wear it every day because it'll dull over time, but it's shiny, it's gold, right? I don't see it, that the finish is such that it's all like it feels shiny, unless you're gonna really like scratch it up. But I mean, the cutting is such that it reflects light so much that it's gonna be shiny. But cleaning it, so I can clean it at home with some dish soap and hot water, and like whatever grease from like lotions and all that will just come off. So I do that with like jewelry, even like some Indian jewelry, provided there's no stones in it. But when I've gone to like a Van Cleef boutique, not in Canada, but when I was traveling in the States, in Las Vegas, and you know, and I was there just to see if they had anything that, you know, I like, or if they have any earrings, they would say, oh, we can clean your bracelet for you. And so they took it in and they, you know, steam cleaned it, like high pressure steam, and it came out sparkling, but it's always shiny, so I don't think it's very low maintenance, I find. Anyway, I hope that you really enjoyed this review and my impressions of this piece. Do I think it's worth it? Yeah, if you're gonna wear it every day, I think it's worth it. If you're gonna have it, you know, shut away and only wear it for special occasions, but I mean, it's on you. It depends on how you want to use the piece, but to me, it's been really worth it because I wear it all the time and I really enjoy it, and I felt that it was money well spent, even though for the same amount of money, I could probably get a lot more gold at a local jeweler. But you know, still worth it to me, and I thoroughly enjoy it. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.